Hey everyone, it's Cheryl with Distressed FX, and today I want to go over our latest version, which is 2.0. Go ahead and select our new icon. This is our very simple interface. Try to keep it very user-friendly. In the top left corner is a little camera icon. This is where you're going to access your own photos to use within the app. If you're just now downloading the app, make sure when it asks you if Distressed FX can have permission to use your photos that you allow, or else you won't be able to use the app. I'm going to go ahead and choose from camera roll. Go to all photos, and here's where I'm going to select a photo to use. At this point, you can either choose to crop your image or leave it as is by selecting Done in the top right corner. If you want to crop it, we have some different tools down here. Most people will probably either choose original or square, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it original. So I'm going to hit original and done. Now it's going to take me once again into the user interface. The top row here is what we call our gels, or some people call them the overlays. We always try to give you some free textures and gels when we do updates. And here we've actually given you a couple of really neat little skies. This one's called Cyan Song, and then one of my favorites is called just Peachy. I'll come back to those in a little bit. The skies. I'm going to select none. The bottom row, your free texture, is called Azure Sky. It's very simple, very watercolory, but I'm going to go ahead and hit none because I want to show you that there is now the option to purchase additional texture packs for those of you that really want to branch out in your creativity. So at the bottom you see these little suitcases. This one at the bottom, more for textures. These are the different banners that show you each pack. The very top one is your original texture, so you can always go back to your originals. If you look and you see this little eye icon, that is so you can see what is in each pack before you purchase it. Now, of course, it's going to show it a little bit differently because you're going to be using different images, but this gives you a basic idea of what's in each pack. There's anywhere from 8 to 12 pictures in each pack. It varies. And I'm going to go down to the neutrals. Happens to be one of my favorites right now. So at the bottom, you're going to see that your original textures have been replaced by the neutrals. But if you click more, originals, it takes you right back to them, but I'm going to go ahead and select those. Okay, at this point I could start playing and pick a different texture. I'm going to hit none real quick because I want to show you that under the gels more suitcase, if you click that, the top is your originals that you can always go back to. We have some bokeh illusions, which is bokeh. A pack called the Lights, which is a lot of different lighting effects, and then one called the Heavens, which is skies, and I'm going to go ahead and pick that one right now. If you want to see it, you could click the little icon and it'll show you the different patterns. Back out of that. To select it, just touch it. So now you can come in and play with the different clouds. I think I'm going to go ahead and select that one. The textures, you may change it based on what cloud you're using. The whole idea is to just basically go through and see what feels right and what look you like. The middle row where there's the eyedropper tool, the bird icon, and then the little sliders, if you click the sliders, here's where you can change the opacity, saturation, contrast. Over here on the far right is a contrast changer. The middle, if you want to boost the saturation, and the far left is the brightness, and that's of the actual image. The bottom two sliders, the very, very bottom one, if you don't want a super overly textured image, you can slide that down a little bit and remove a little bit of the texture. The one above it is the gel slider. If you don't want the clouds super apparent or any of your gels, just slide it down a little bit. So go ahead and hit the X and it'll take you out with the changes. We also have the little teardrop dropper over here, and that is the for blur tool if you want to give it a little bit of a different effect using the blur circle, sorry. But I'm going to go ahead and X out of that because that's not the effect I want right now. The center button with the little bird is our ever famous popular birds. One thing about the birds, they can be overused. However, where I live, I see birds every single day, so it's normal for me to have birds in just about every picture that I edit. But I like to keep them in perspective, meaning not overdone. And I think we've done that well with these packs. Up in the top right corner is your little suitcase. The original birds are the ones that came in the app. The uncaged birds were the pack that we had for sale for $1 in the last version, and Barely There, Lofty Birds, Winged Assistants, and Storybook Birds are all new, and I'm really, really excited about these trees, so I'm going to show you that first. Again, you have the little eye icon, press that, and it will show you the different images on texture already. I'm going to back out of that, and I am going to go ahead and select the trees by touching it. I'm going to go ahead and go to Tress Trees, which is 3. And here it is, you guys. Look at that. You can now move the image around. Do you know how many people asked us for that? Lots and lots and lots. And if you take your fingers, you can now pinch and adjust the size, because I really do think it's important that you keep perspective and size when doing any edits. Okay, at this point you can take your finger, press, well, I'm going to select that first by doing the check mark. Okay, and then I'm going to press my index finger and hold, and it's asking me, do you wish to flatten your image? This cannot be undone. Once you flatten it, you're stuck with it. But I'm going to go ahead and hit flatten. At this point, you can come in and add another new texture or gel, but I'm going to go ahead and add some birds. So I'm going to go back in here, go to the top right corner, and I'm going to select Storybook Birds. I think I'm going to go with Troop. One thing, you can't make the birds super, super huge or ridiculously tiny. We do have some constraints on that, but I think that where we have them set is, I think it's good, because you can't go too crazy with them and make it unrealistic. So again, you can move them around wherever you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and put them right there. Do my little check mark, and I think I'm happy with it. So at this point, the top right corner is the box with the up arrow. I'm going to hit that and then do the little box with the down arrow, and I'm downloading it to my phone. And I know a lot of people like to take them into other apps and tweak them. That's fine. But for this particular image, I think I'm good to go. The only other thing I want to show you is if you go to the circle with the eye, there's a little story of how I got here with the app and my messy workstation. My husband had made me a art studio in our guest house, and I just didn't like the lighting in there, so I ended up taking over our dining room table. We have credits, which I would really appreciate it if you would go read that, because there are some people that helped us with the app, and they were gracious enough to let us use their artwork. And thank you to our beta testers. That actually goes to our website, so I need to go back out and go to the app again and go to our website. It's very clean, and one of the great things about it is we have a users gallery. And there is just some beautiful, inspiring artwork here. I try to go every day, but I can't always do that. But I go to Instagram and I look up the hashtag Distressed FX, and I look at every single photo that comes through, and I hand pick images to be showcased here on our website, also on Facebook in our Facebook group, as well as Instagram. And there's just some very beautiful, inspiring art here, and if you're ever feeling uninspired, this is definitely the place to come. I'm going to go back real quick out of here to the app one more time. At the very top corner is a little Instagram icon, a Facebook icon, and a Twitter icon. Please, please, please follow our Instagram account. Again, I look at a lot of photos on there, and our Facebook group. Please follow that for updates and show us your art and all that good stuff. So thank you for all of your support, and most importantly for being patient with us during this long process of updating the app. And lastly, I just want to thank my partner Steve, who without his incredible coding and developer skills, this app would not be. So thank you, Steve.